There it is.
Welcome to the preview show, the Saturday preview show.
Friday preview show. Aren't you usually there now, I think of it?
I know, Gord's come on the show, very kindly offered to come on the show this morning.
G'day,
Hey, how you going, boys?
Bit of early work for Saturday, some thoughts from the boys and me, and trying to find you guys a winner for Saturday racing.
Well, I'm on the show so that I get your guys' information before the people who watch the show.
Oh,
so it's actually like a cunning ploy of mine. So
The old get in early.
yeah, exactly.
But that means you have to listen.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Anyway,
Right, here we
Struggle
are.
with that.
Welcome back to RacingRant, and
we've had a great week, a great start, Glenn. You were firing on all cylinders on Wednesday.
oh well, and you found a nice price winner yesterday. You only sent out 2 for Gosford, and one was $9 they bet. So well done, Mark. Yeah, great start. We need to keep tipping winners, and we need you guys to keep being involved with us. What are we going to do, guys? Go straight to race 1. What's the story?
Well, Rosehill tomorrow. The track's improving. I think the penetrometer this morning is 5.4
Yep.
and a potty, and it's deadish in the old.
Yeah, I've worked on 5 or 6, and saying softer, softer absolute words, but closer to dead.
All right. Well, let's go back to Wednesday, where you were suggesting it was a 6, and they left it an 8 all day. Were they wrong?
I don't know if they were wrong, because the track did cut up badly and muck about and blah blah blah.
Rosehill's is actually in better nick than Canterbury.
I'd agree with that.
So look, it should be a similar track to a fortnight back where we raced on a 3-metre rail. The rail goes out to the 6-metre position, and you can't find too many 6-metre rails where it's rain affected in any way.
Okay. What are your prognostications? Do you like that one?
Yeah,
There you go. Learning all the time here, the old guys.
that's right. The prognostic chart for tomorrow is soft runs, but you don't have to draw inside to get there.
Right.
You just need to be cleverly ridden. So I'd suggest that trying to loop the field is not the ploy tomorrow.
Right. Well, that seems like most races are going to be cleverly ridden because we've got a pretty competitive lot of decent jockeys at the moment going around.
Sure do, and it's a deep enough card as it stands at the moment. So we kick off with the fillies and mares race over 1400, and extensible third up tomorrow is $2.80. Labdian, just turned 4, is $4.40. Frill Seeking $7, Tree of Jesse $7.50, and the only other runner under double figures is Stiletto Vixen at $9. Anyaz is racing at Rosehill tomorrow, not Caulfield, as she was doubly booked. And
She's a very interesting runner, Anyaz.
well, gone to David Hayes. I guess Dickie moving north meant that runners went here, there, and everywhere. And
I think early on, Anyaz was looked upon as one of his better types, to better horses too. So, and it's got all form that can be in the finish here. But I don't know what's been doing. It Caulfield, see a last and a 4th. Don't know what's been doing. But anyway.
no obvious leader here. I mean, there are horses that push forward, but I thought perhaps that the girl of the moment might push on with Taltani
Right.
to lead. Stiletto Vixen obviously will box seat. Extensible has the opportunity to park tomorrow. Frill Seeking race with success, ridden a little bit quieter the other day. So there's sort of Anya's, Taltani and Bells of War. Sense and Reason, Tree of Jesse back off the speed, and I had Labdian on the rails just past midfield.
Right. Abdullah will probably stay on the rails, so and look for that run 2 or 3 metres off the fence if they do fan a bit. Look, who's going first?
I'll go first.
Gord.
No bet.
Okay,
There you
no
go,
bet
nice
from Gord
and
there.
Straight in there, Gord.
You can get all Gord's no bet races for $33.
There's a lot of them.
It's a new venture. So you pay $33 and Gord will just email you the races not to bet in. You'll save millions.
By the way, it's quite
Probably
a
not-
handy tip, you know.
I'm not
the
bad
only
at it.
advantage the punters have over the
Yeah.
bookies is we can choose not to bet.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Sometimes I send my Mounting Our mail out and it's like A from B from C from D, and I just go, fucking I'm doing nothing. Well, I get that many complaints about it. Oh, what? People just
So I've got to have an opinion even though...
No, people with me
No.
just go, you've got to have a bet, Pollitt, what's wrong with you? And what I'm trying to say is, there's not much doing here. If there's not much, there's an old saying in racing, if there's not much doing, do nothing.
Yeah, so Gord's representing the punter's right to not bet.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
So you're a late scratching for race 1, your first tip on the show ever, money back. It's not bad. I'll go second. I thought Extensible was top pick, with no confidence at the price. It seems third up, well, it is third up. Trainer seems to be drawn okay. I thought a little bit of value was in the bottom one, holding a lovely position on the map. Stiletto Vixen. I liked the run the other day. It is 6 up for Gerald, but you know it's going to be outside the market. I think Labdian can sneak up underneath him and get into the finish. Tree of Jesse, barrier 11, goes back, goes forward.
It was your horse to follow last week.
Yeah, I know, but I just the makeup of this race, you know.
So Glenn's is no bet as well.
Yeah, because I won't be back on the favourite. I'd agree with that comment.
The favourite really gets a chance tomorrow. She was exposed the other day. She was second up from a longish spell, and she had to park outside the lead. Now I know lots of OSLs won a fortnight ago, but I think that was a good like bring her to a pitch run for her. So I reckon she should be 5 to 4 in the race.
That's short, eh? Wow.
But I'm backing Taltani.
My girl?
Your girl.
Deanne Pena, there she is.
I thought Taltani was brave on a strong pace the other day, and third up can find the fronts. They've never done anything in town, but I'm backing her to run a race tomorrow. But it's a scuzzy race.
It is a scuzzy race.
Certainly, I think Extensible gets her chance. And given that you guys are bowing out, I'm just going to press on.
Talking about scuzzy races, we move to race 2.
It's the highway over 1100, so we've come back in distance for our highways here, and Luxury from the esteemed Danny Williams yard is $3.80 off the barrier 1. Farrar is $6. Beside you, Know When to Hold 'Em is $6. Beside you is $8.50, and the rest are double figures or longer. And there's some good bits of speed here. Frisky Terror down under Frisky Terror and Vixen Lass from the low draws. Show and Tell wider out, Deanne again, and Know When to Hold 'Em looks to posse right up on the speed.
Gord, you go first, mate.
Yeah, Gord's got a bit of a feel for country racing because he's a keen country racing student.
It's not a particular race that anything comes off the page at me, but I'm against Luxury. I know it's going to be well found and well back. It does sort of have the best form, but barrier 1, Kobe Jennings, it's not a horse that I want to take a short price about. So
his first tip for the show is actually a lay.
Lay, depending obviously on price. Yeah.
You're saying about $2.80 you'd rather lay it, $4.20 you'd be on?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I know what Gord always says.
Yeah.
Gord, you think like me a lot, don't you?
Yeah, well, we just, ticks and crosses.
Yeah, it's what do you do?
Stamping. Yeah. So I'm interested in a couple of lightly raced things here that there's questions about, but they actually are reasonable odds in the early market. So that's number 7, Cheljo. It beats Stimuli its first ever start, and it's third up after a long spell, so I think it might be ready to do something. And I'm looking for something outside of the market here because I think it's quite a weak race. And the other one is the thing that's only got 1,000 metre form, which is number 12, Besides You. Although it's only got 1,000 metre form, it's got no convictions over any other distance, so we don't really know what it's capable of over the 1100. But particularly on these two horses, the way I play is I'm not saying these with a great deal of confidence because normally I'm backing things harder in the market, but there'll be ones that I particularly pay attention to what Glenn says in the Mounting Yard Mail, because if he finds either one of them both being lightly raced as a good type.
Yep. I haven't seen them, so obviously I haven't seen them. So look, I touch concur there. A bit worried about this favourite. I think it finds a funny spot. It's a horse I've always had a lot of time for, a real lot of time. The other day it sort of poked around late. It's going to feel carrying 58 kilos tomorrow. I know I shouldn't talk about weights, but it had 51.5 the other day in a much harder race. I know, I don't like when they go
You're just going to have to let it go, aren't you? You're just going to have to do it. You're going to do what you want to do.
To tip a horse that can't win off its last run, Vixen Lass, but on all its previous other runs it can be in the finish, and all its other runs are okay.
3-year-old filly, isn't it? So it's still a 2-year-old.
Yeah. And we saw a couple of 2-year-olds yesterday at
Gosford,
and they all did the job. One of them won, and the other two that were in the one race couldn't another race.
Yeah, that's right. Well,
Super 2 beat
Calabasas.
And how the first one won at the evens, I'll never know, and it won. Pretty promising horse. What's it called? One about the second race. Number 1.
Rather sweet.
Promising filly. Paraded like a fucking skunk.
It's going to parade like a skunk every start. It's trained by Gary.
No, but man, it's got ability. It's got a little engine, so keep your eye on it because you get some condition on that horse. It's a bloody good horse. Anyway, that's another day.
He can train a good little sprinter, you know.
Yeah. I'm interested in what you said about Chilja. I like that. I didn't really notice that third up off the long break. beside you, I just couldn't imagine. But anyway, that's another story. I'm tipping number 11 there, just a little bit each way. You know, poo-poo race.
Sure is a poo-poo race. So I'll just say no bet.
Yeah, easy to say that.
No, come on. Let's say you're going to put luxury on top, aren't you?
So the horse I'm going to suggest in the race is Farrar, who used to be trained by Alan Denham, is a pretty moderate provincial type when we've seen him at the provincials, but is actually like the Scone guy took him over midway through last preparation, and so this is second up in his first full preparation from that trainer. So that's all I'll offer you, and moving on.
Now we're getting to some meat. The last 7 races are plenty to work with, things to do.
Yes. Race 3 is our distance race. It's over 2,000 metres, and the market reads Dubai in Style off the breakthrough win, $4.80. More Than Fabulous, scratched from the 2,400 last week, back to 2,000 here at $5.50. Magical Stand $7.50. Ducan at 8. So Willie 9. Firebird Flyer at 9. The rest are longer.
We've got this awful Randwick form we're going to have to put up with for a few weeks.
Yes.
What do we make of it?
Yeah. What do we make of it?
Dubai in Style just trucked in last start, goes up in distance, goes back to where all its runs at Rosehill have been, you know, back me next start. What do we make of it?
Yeah, well, look,
What'd you price it, 5 to 1?
No,
Longer.
no, shorter. Look, Loud Debate tried to ruin Esteban there a fortnight ago.
Yep.
Right, that was a frenetic race. So you'd imagine that Loud Debate leads this, because the competition for speed is not really there. It's Dubai in Style, which is obviously going to want to park at 2,000. It's Egyptian Ruler, who's coming back from the Grafton Cup, and Magical Stance went back the other day, so he's given up going forward, I think.
So the lead here is what, Loud Debate from Rock My Lady? Is that it? That was the second?
Yeah, well, it can do. I mean, it's been ridden just off the speed in its distance races recently. But I'd suggest there is a designated leader here in Loud Debate. Right, the others can sort themselves out behind it. I know Gord's a big fan of distance races, so do you want to announce your no bet?
No bet.
No bet again?
No
That's
bet.
another $33 from Gord.
Here's-
Make all checks payable to Gord.
Here's a pearl for you. I don't bet in anything over 1,600 metres.
Make that 66 so far, punters. Flying out there. Anyway. All right, Mike, are you going to do your prognostication
They are my
first?
favourite races, I should say, so we're going to dovetail nicely here. Look, Dubai in Style broke through and he's on a 7-day backup and he's Kiwi bred. I'd prefer him at 1,900. I think 1,900 would work.
Yep.
More Than Fabulous, we discussed him on the show last week. I went back and watched his replay where Huey just was an arrogant ride, wasn't it?
Yep.
And you know, Blake will suit this horse. He needs the track to still retain that dampness. And outside of that, I was struggling. Look, it was an encouraging return, Ducan, but Chris again, lots of time off and second up from a monster spell. I'm not going there. And
I'm going to tip 2 horses in this race that you've probably looked at 18 times. I'm going to tip on top Red Dabawi. It's done your head in all morning, I'm tipping. I think it gets a really nice run here, and I liked its. I'm profiling off its last 2 SPs and just think that $26 is good odds about this horse tomorrow. From Firebird Flyer, even though it got beaten 99.3 lengths last start and running second to Bird of Tokyo, I still think that this horse is up and running, gets a great run from Clarkey, and again, both horses at 2,000 metres really suit. So my early prognostications are on those 2. Don't know what to make of Dubai in Style, don't know whether that Randwick form's going to stand up. So Willie, don't think it's going to get the 2,000 metres, even though it's one of my favourite little horses. And I think it's a race that's up for grabs. I think anything could happen in this race.
I think you're right. And look, you found runners that are you can make a case for. They're not compelling cases, but they're cases.
But you can't make a compelling case about any runner.
Isn't that the angle in distance races, but you want to play outside the market?
Yeah, we want a
Because
premium.
Generally, shorties are too short and longies are too long.
No doubt. So
And we've seen that in all staying races over the years. Group 1 races there, we've seen 150 to 1 chances lead in the Group 1 races there. A couple of them over the last 10 years, I can't remember their stupid names. One was trained by Hawks, what was it called?
Currata Storm.
And one was trained by Anthony Cummings, what was his name? How do you remember all this?
I know.
Started with A.
You love the
ran
questions,
around,
don't you?
around,
Let's
around,
test him out.
around.
And there was G-Boss.
Yeah,
So,
they both won the BMW, yeah?
I'm talking about, yeah. So I'm saying even all forms of staying races can throw up tricky results. And my two tips in that race are in that tricky category. I'm going to win on those two. I'm going to win on Rock My Lady. You know, I'm going to win on those horses. I'm going to be betting.
So my roughie, you've tipped two roughies, I'll tip a roughie, and we'll be done with it.
Yeah?
Is Kathy. Allowed to vote.
Of course it is. Well, I knew you always tipped it. Solo lead in this race is it's something.
It'll do. Moving on to race 4, which is a dense little 1500, the lowest grade of the day. And Lanciato is favourite at $4.40. More to Gain is $7, got unders 8, Zakonig at $8.50, which I'm going to rush off and take straight after the show.
That's my view back then.
And Pirate Ben, who's a game little fella, $10. He's a beauty, Pirate Ben.
Oh, it's like he should be parading on Gilligan's Island. He's just a little bushy that tries and tries and tries. Great little horse.
So, got unders is the designated leader, but from gate 1, just makes it a little bit up the grabs, you know, because they don't, you know, to lead from gate 1, you sort of have to be quite purposeful.
Right.
You know, because there's horses out wide that are going to maybe try their luck. Whereas if Got Unders draws 11, he just jumps out there and goes, well, I'm heading for the lead, and everyone goes, well, okay, that's what's happening.
Off you go.
So Zakonig I had going well forward here. Darcy's Affair has been ridden on speed of late and was ridden terribly by the 4 Kilo Boy the other day at Kembla. But Deanne is obviously a go-forward rider, and Pirate Ben you can expect to go forward from his wide gate. All right, Gord, you've been champing at the bit here.
I'm interested in 2 horses here, which are 5 and 10, so that's More to Gain and Zakonig. I like horses at Gosford that only get a late split. I think if they do something with a late split, it's so against them that it's actually positive for their next start.
You weren't going to give any pearls on this show. You've just gone straight. You've just gone straight into the...
Well, to be honest, when I was doing it, I was expecting to see better than $7.
More to Gain.
Yeah,
it's a shit-house price. It's a shit-house price.
I know. Yeah, so it was one I found, but I was expecting to be a longer price. But it's also one at the track and Saturday Metropolitan game previously where it beat, it beat Dingu Mountain, which has a little bit of ability. Lightly raced, second up, tricky stable. But anyway, that's one that I'm interested in. And Zakonig, sort of done nothing wrong. You'll find a lot of the horses I find are going to be lightly raced, and to be honest, when I see positive jockey changes like Zakonig, Scott, I'm just automatically going to back them, particularly if they're not well found in the market. So when you go for Winona, who's not riding particularly well at the moment, to Blake Shim, that's just a massive positive, and pretty much doesn't matter what the rest of the form is, I'm going to be backing it.
Fortunately, that plane just drowned you out completely, but anyway.
Yeah.
That's enough talk about Zakonig there, Gord.
Okay.
So that's it. Yeah, because I've got a few more positives about it, but that's all
Keep
right.
going,
We'll
keep
leave
going.
it there. No, go to Glenn.
All right. Well, I'm completely different to your blokes. I think this could be close to a good thing. We'll start favourite. It's number 10, Zakonig. It's a fucking moral. So, all you punters out there that find out today when you watch the show that it was $8.50 and we'll be taking it. It'll start about $5.50 tomorrow and does look to have a great chance. There's everything about it. Its last run was terrific. From the parade yard, all it's got is upside. Looks clearly top pick to me. I'm tipping it from my old mate, Mr. Darcy, who's finally got out to the sort of price where he's just going to ram it to us tomorrow at $19. And he's just always in the market and always failing and always driving us mad and always unlucky. Just got a good feeling with him tomorrow with Rory at the $19. Like him a lot. And from number 1, getting a bit sick of Lanciato. Get a bit sick of watching Mark Newman waiting to train his first winner. It's been about 8-9 runs now. We all had our fingers crossed. Well, I think we've all got a bit bored with it. My numbers are Zakonig from Mr. Darcy and Pirate Ben.
And there was no collusion here either.
What are you tipping, Mark?
I'm tipping Zakonig from Mr. Darcy and Pirate Ben.
Are you really? Bullshit.
Look, I just want to mention that...
Are you really?
Look,
there you go.
Game Pie has been gelded and is a bit of a freshie.
Yeah.
And is there anything else to mention? Perhaps not.
You got the exact same numbers as mine.
Well,
it's about a $3,000 trifecta that's going to pay $800 now.
That's race 4. Should we do the San Domenico and go for a break, or?
We'll just rip through the San Domenico because it's as boring as all hell. It's only exciting for the owners, isn't it?
I guess so. I guess so.
It's a 6-horse race. You can't have a place bet for starters. That's boring. They did have 8 runners at their acceptance time, and I was quite excited to be on Kentucky Miss a Place tomorrow. Now it's 6 runners pay 1-2. I think it's got less chance of running to place if it was in the 8-horse race. But anyway, that's another story.
So the market reads $1.85 Capitalist and $3.80 Star Turn.
Yeah.
$6.50 Tango Rain and double figure odds. The remainder, the other 3.
Go make your cup of tea now, punters, if you're just that bored with listening to this fucking race. This is a boring race. What do you say, mate?
So I'll say Kentucky Miss leads Tango Rain, which will give Capitalist a good park.
It's a lovely run.
Manolo Blahnik is by box seating, and Mount Panorama and Star Turn. I wonder what the tactics will be there, because trialled up, but you know, may try to find the back of the favourite perhaps.
I thought it would. So it's behind the favourite. So what does the favourite then take over at about the 300? Shitty, just like this. I mean, it's $1.85. The reason I find the race so damn boring is I know that it's going to get a perfect run. It's probably going to parade okay, and I won't be able to help myself laying the odds on, and then I'll lose in the race.
Well, I'm going to be willing to take the odds on. I'm going to have a big go at it.
You're going to back it?
I think it's immoral. I love the fact that there's some horses in here that are actually providing that price.
Okay.
So the Tango Rain particularly is I don't have a massive opinion of, and it's providing me a price for Capitalist. So I'd say it's more around $1.50, $1.60 shot.
Wow. Wow. Okay. And my numbers in the race, for interest's sake, are 1 from 3. Pretty exciting, eh? What do you say, mate?
So Star Turn is interesting. Like Capitalist obviously started, what are the prices started? $7, $8 in the slipper, and Star Turn was like unwanted. It was like
50s.
50s.
He finished 3 lengths away and had a worse run.
Well, like,
Capital's coming on PR.
I know that, but it just seems particularly well found here, Star Turn.
Yeah, I'd agree. I suppose, you know, like I said to you, Capital's probably it'll win the race. It'll be odds on. Let's can't help myself with odds on.
But I think if you say that with that much confidence, like we both have, well then $1.85 isn't a bad price, is it?
It's only a bad price if I take it.
And that is the end of part 1 of the preview show.
Right, just give it a click. How was that, guys? All right.